And later on the international front, 21,000 children in Haiti have been displaced in 2 weeks as gang violence intensifies. We have details of these and many others all in the 60 Minutes belt. Stay tuned in. Hello again. Once again, I am Mohammed. We begin on election security as the military high command has refuted rumors about the deployment of soldiers to polling stations during the upcoming elections. A representative of the Chief of Defense Staff clarified the military presence will only be stationed near approximately 1,000 identified flashpoints and potential hotspots ready to support police operations if necessary. Brigadier General Kwekudakwa Hagan, speaking on behalf of the CDS during a meeting with UTAC at the police headquarters, assured the public that military intervention at polling stations would only occur upon police requests to prevent disruptions and maintain order.
We are mindful of the fact that some section of the population is apprehensive of military personnel taking part in the election. I want to clarify that the election is primarily being handled by the police service and other security service and the Ministry of Interior. They are the people you'll be seeing at about 40,000 polling stations. You will not see military personnel like me at the polling station. So please be rest assured that we shall not be there. However, we've identified with the police service and electoral commission about more than 1,000 flashpoints and possible hotspots. These will be under our Selosia, and then we are going to have personnel there. We will not intervene in anything until the police service requests or asks us to assist. That is when it is anticipated or it is felt that they needed some extra assistance to get things running. That is where you'll be seeing us. But even there, to be brief, I want to assure everybody that we are humane as you are. We are not going there to molest anybody. Point to note. And so, look at my posture. That is the same thing we'll be seeing with others. But I want to say that if things get out of hand of the police service, the prisons and others, and we need to restore life to normalcy, should the military be called, we are not going to treat people with kid gloves. We are going to be humane, but then we may use some small.
Still on election security, the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufudampare, has unveiled a reward system aimed at enhancing security for the upcoming December polls, with incentives ranging from 1,000 cedis to 20,000. The initiative encourages the public to provide voluntary information about electoral breaches. This proactive measure is designed to help security forces address potential issues swiftly and effectively. Dr. Dampare announced this during an address to members of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, emphasizing the importance of collaboration in safeguarding the integrity of the entire electoral process.
So this is the informant reward system we are introducing, and the figure associated with it is between the average of 1,000 to 20,000 Ghana cedis. You bring the information, you operationalize it, the results are good, and the weight of the information, we'll put it on some sort of a weighing stuff, and then we'll tell how much within 1,000 to 20,000 that you deserve, and you tell us how you want to get it, and we'll send it across to you. Those who find it difficult to do the one-on-one, for the first time, once again also in the history of election management from the security point of view, we have introduced a toll-free number for that purpose and for the purpose of anybody who wants to share information with us. And that toll-free number is 0800 311 311. And this is where we are going, and this is how we want to let you know that when we say we are over-prepared for the elections, it means we have covered every aspect, and we invite you, beyond the information in terms of your analysis and critical thinking that you bring to bear on our work, to be part of the point where we will source information from you, both on gratis and also when we have to pay for it, for the sake of ensuring that this country that we love so much continue to be at peace with.
Let's interrogate this further and engage security analyst Dr. Adam Bona. Doc, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you. Hello, Dr. Bona.
Hello.
Yes, Doc. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Good morning to you and your viewers.
Great. It's good to have you. Now, Doc, this is the first time we're seeing this. Will this in any way aid effective election security?
Obviously, yes. Lady, you know I wouldn't be able to comment on this without making a commentary on the military coming out this year's elections to tell us that they will not be in frontline security action until they are co-opted in by the police. I think this is novel, and so I must congratulate the Inspector General of Police and his team, and the CDS, Mr. Upon Pepra, and his team for working and engaging the populace and everyone involved to promise us that this year's election, we would not have the military play any frontline role until they are called in. The apprehension has always been there, and I am happy that from the military's own mouth, they will not be there. So let's send that message to military officers or those who would be given military uniforms to go around and foment trouble, that they will be arrested and sent to any police station if they do so, because then they would be performing an illegitimate function, because then from the military will not be performing security frontline roles. Now to the substantive question. I think it is good, and I am happy for three things that the IGP and his team, for the first time we are seeing. And these three things are engagement. The second one is engagement. The third one is engagement. And I say this because if you are able to engage, chances are that you de-escalate, you allay people's fears, and also ensure that you put in measures such as you highlighted, the reward system. Because where I sit, a lot of information come to me. Somebody is meeting, military officers in some corner. Somebody is trying to wear people uniform to, undertake some dastardly act. So if these people now feel that this information is credible, IGP and his team and the security task force are saying that send out this information on a toll-free number. If we cross-check and it's correct, you get rewarded. It means that I will be afraid to do anything because somebody would get a reward out of probably the acts I wanted to perform. So they would arrest me before then or after. And so I think it's a very good thing the IGP and the security task force are doing for the first time in the history of our elections, since 1992. I think it's novel, Lily.
As with every policy or initiative and its introduction, there will be excesses. Do you foresee where people will pull prank calls?
Well, I think this question has been asked. Media, I've had this engagement, and media persons like yourselves have asked prank calls. You see, the good thing is that, Lily, this number, you are speaking to me, and you are speaking to me via a certain network. They are able to track. These days, we have SIM cards that are registered to us or to a known individual. And so if I was to pick up a phone and if I'm silly enough, so excuse me to say, if I'm silly enough to call the toll-free number, my number will be registered on that, system. And once it is registered, I will be arrested and punished. And I believe that the IGP and his team should add that if you were to do a prank call with regards to something that is not happening, we would arrest you and we will punish you. And also probably they should work with the telecom companies. So if, a prank call comes from a known number, the first thing they do is to block the number. The telecom company can just disengage the number, disconnect it, and that's it. Once it is disconnected, later they can come and arrest you, or they would arrest you immediately. So I think measures this day and age, we have technology to stop people from messing up and misusing some of these good initiatives that are out there to ensure that our safety is enhanced, Lily.
Look, should the police also, in light of this, should the police also invest in tracking systems? Because you know that in this country, some people register SIM cards for others. So should the police also invest in tracking?
Well, yes, I think they should. But the telecom companies have a database of if your producer who has spoken to me a couple of times before this program, before I got connected with you, they are able, the telecom companies and even the police and the security agencies are able to tell the cell site that the calls they made to me was routed through. And so I believe the police has the system. I can tell you for sure that the police has the system to trace who I spoke to at a certain time, and how many minutes probably we even spoke. They have the technology now, and so I would sound a warning to could be miscreants who would want to hijack the system and ensure that very good calls that will come in to stop perpetrators of crime don't get through, because then once you prank callers have flooded the numbers, chances are that if I see something and I want to report it, a prank caller would have been on the line with the police, and the police would not be able to pick my call. So I think that those who want to do that, the technology is there. So I tell people that these days, if you are making a call to someone, be very careful, because then they can tell where exactly you were when you did that call and where that person was when they picked that call and how many minutes you spoke, if for nothing at all. I'm sure we saw the Japa versus the AG thing, and everything was out there. We could tell that how many minutes they spoke. Everything was highlighted. So I think we can learn from that and desist from doing anything that would jeopardize this very good initiative that IGP Dampare and his team are putting in place to ensure that we go into these elections, not having violence. I suspect that we are likely to see violence-free elections, so the winner would be declared and the loser, we are going to wish them better luck, prepare and come back next time. Really.
Thank you very much, as always, for speaking to us. That's Dr. Adam Bona. He is a security analyst. Let's move on and touch on a parliamentary business. Now, mixed reactions have greeted a decision by Speaker Alban Sumana Bagbin to turn down a request from the Majority Leader Alexander Kwamina Pengomakeng for a recall of Parliament. The Futu MP in a petition had prayed the Speaker for the House to reconvene for 2 days to attend to some matters of urgent importance. The Speaker, however, declined the request, citing the fact that MPs are busy campaigning in their constituencies, adding that the House will resume sitting after elections to complete all necessary before a seamless transition to the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. Well, the majority was asking for a recall to tackle urgent parliamentary business. What are these urgent parliamentary business? Our head of political desk and our parliamentary affairs correspondent, Ibrahim Alassane, joins me in studio. Ivy, as always,
yes.
we're back to talk about Parliament.
We are back to talk about Parliament, and we'll do for a while longer until 7th January, when this Parliament expires. You talked about the matters of urgent importance. Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, in his request to the Speaker, mentioned 22 of them. Some of them are bills. Let me quickly run you through some of them. So, request for tax exemptions for designated beneficiaries under the One District, One Factory, the Ghana Financial Stability Fund and International Development Association facility of $250 million US. And then there's also the ratification of the mining lease agreement between the government of Ghana and then also the Ashanti Bauxite Company Limited for the mining of bauxite in the Nyinahini. There's also the Barari DV lithium agreement. There's a free access bill, among many others as well. 22 of them. And take notice of the fact that 22 of them were actually listed because Speaker will reference this number in his response to Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, the majority leader. Subsequently, so these are some of the issues that are outstanding. Reason why Alexander Afenyo-Markin, not under Order 1123, Article 1123 of the Constitution, which will have made it mandatory for the Speaker to recall Parliament within 7 days.
But why didn't they invoke that power this time around? They had twice used it, right?
Yes. Well, on this platform, and I'm sure on many other platforms, you spoke to governance analysts, political analysts, who had mentioned that the legalistic nature of the whole engagement had thrown dialogue out of the window. And so after the Supreme Court judgment, it will be better for the parties to sit and then, exactly. So I'm sure it's in that spirit that Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin said, let me give Speaker the opportunity to use his discretion to decide as to whether to recall Parliament or not. Because if it had gone under Article 1123, Speaker would have had no option than to recall the House.
But then it would have meant the Speaker would have given parliamentarians 7 days and on which day, which is Friday, so today and then Friday.
Exactly.
And so which will mean that in the next 7 days, which will be on election day.
Exactly. That could have been the issue. And so questions have been asked as to whether if indeed the majority was going to trigger Article 1123, it couldn't have been done immediately after the Supreme Court judgment. That could have given MPs some space to attend to these businesses, probably not all of them, and then return to continue
especially
the
budget.
Exactly. In fact, on this particular request for the emergency recall, the expenditure in lieu of appropriation is not even captured.
Okay.
Because we have already in existence an appropriation act which expires by the end of December of this year. And so there's time for President Akufo-Addo and his finance minister to have the legal backing to spend from the consolidated fund until, and if you remember, a clear case in point was when the budget was rejected. Yes. And the fact that we had to go into the following year with the e-levy controversies before the budget proper was approved. Nonetheless, because the appropriation act was still in existence, government was able to spend from the consolidated fund. So usually, many people are wondering, and then of course I saw some legal brains question the authority with which the Speaker declined this request. And that's what we've sought to explain, that if he had gone under Article 1123 of the Constitution,
then the Speaker would have been mandated
to recall Parliament. It went under Standing Orders of Parliament that allows the Speaker the discretion to either recall Parliament or say otherwise. Speaker argues, and of course we'll come to the Speaker's response, that MPs are in their constituencies campaigning. The last thing he wants to do is to disrupt that, because there could be implications for their ability to return to Parliament or otherwise. One. Two, he talks about 22 businesses that have been listed and the subsequent request for 2-day emergency sitting. Speaker argues that the 2 days will not be enough to
deal with all these
matters of urgent importance.
I mean, let me hold you there and engage Dr. Rashid Rahman. He's the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs. Doc, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, Majority Leader appealed to the Speaker to recall Parliament. Speaker says, looking at the time, it is not feasible. Does this come to you as a surprise?
No, it didn't come as a surprise. I think the build-up from the first day of this crisis seem to have pointed to the fact of who arrive at this outcome. And so when the Right Honorable Speaker uses discretion to say no, I wasn't surprised because, he has been taken to court. He has had opportunity to tell you, the media, that the court and the executive alluding to undermine the powers of parliament. So when the opportunity presented itself, I believe maybe he also said, okay, let me use the powers that I have. This is discretionary. As your correspondent has said, if they are gone under the order that they should sign a petition, then the Right Honorable Speaker would have had no choice. But I mean, they didn't have time, and I believe they also wanted reconciliation, which reconciliation I thought should have come right on the first day of this crisis. That would have saved us the situation that we are in right now. The speed with which MPs run to the court, I believe it's a lesson that, both sides would have to learn from. We have to be careful how much and how quickly we invite the court into the space of parliament. Because tomorrow and in future parliament, we are going to see this precedent used to undermine parliamentary proceedings when future majority or minority is not pleased with what is going on in the House.
Now, Doc, Speaker in his response to the NPP caucus, or the majority, referred to Alexander Kwamina Pengomaking as leader of government business, other than the majority leader. Should we in the public read any meaning into this?
Yes, you should. And I think we are all reading this to it because, it seems to suggest that the fundamental issue that gave rise to this crisis is still not resolved. That, which side is majority and which side is minority. Because even after today, when you call the NDC, they are going to refer to themselves as a majority. When you call the MPP, they are going to refer themselves as majority. It begs the question, have our leaders really taken an interest in getting these two sides to sit and try to dialogue and get out of this? Because even after the elections, so far as this parliament still has life, when they go into the chamber, if this background work is not done and the issue resolved, we are going to see either some fisticuffs, or we are going to see some walkouts, and a repeat of all that drama that we have seen in the last couple of weeks.
Now, Doc, in all of this, where does it end?
It's difficult to say unless some dialogue and negotiation happens. The 8th Parliament is going to end on a note on which is started chaos. Yeah, it's going to be chaotic because when they recall after the elections, I'm sure that will be the last time they will meet, and we might likely see some of the drama that we saw the 9th of January 7, 2021.
Can we then say that at this point, we have closed the chapter on the 8th Parliament? Is it dead?
Sorry?
Can we then say that at this point, well, we are not seeing a recall, and so the next time we see them again will be after elections. Can we then confidently say the 8th Parliament is dead?
No, it's not yet. I think it's still a small window. I mean, albeit quite too late. We still have a small window where, in the national interest, in the interest of the unity of our country, maybe the two sides can still come together and close the 8th Parliament properly. But that cannot happen on its own. It will require some backroom engineering. And that is where our elders would have to be called upon.
Okay.
To leadership.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much. That's Dr. Rashid Rahman. He's the Executive Director for the Center for Parliamentary Affairs. IB, thank you very much. I am wondering what the 9th Parliament will look like with all these things hanging on their neck. Because even though some will not come back, majority of them will still come back to Parliament.
I dread Parliament after December 7, regardless of what the outcome is. So, for instance, if minority becomes majority or majority remains majority, what will be the implications for even the last time that they'll have to meet the dying members of the 8th Parliament?
Yeah.
If the dynamics change, what would happen? And basically, that's quite interesting.
Thank you very much. So that's Ibrahim Alassan. He's head of political desk. He's also the parliamentary affairs correspondent. Right from the inception of this parliament, he was there when they were blues, and then they are ending on a rather interesting note. But what have you got to say about the Speaker's decision not to recall Parliament? A lot of people say, well, the Speaker has failed to acknowledge Alexander Kwamna Penyomaking as the majority leader. Nana Akwa joins me with those thoughts and comments. Nana, what are people saying?
Lily, well, the memo was quite an interesting read. I mean, at least for me. When we go over to Facebook, the comments, in fact, were overwhelming. Don Lewis says, political speaker, worst ever in Ghana's history. Kwaku adds, speaker should consider employees' salaries in January 2025. Sumaila says, our constitution is speaking. Who owns judicial, or I think he says he means who wins, judicial or legislature? This is a very good question. Or is it that Ghanaians have lost in all of this? SK says Tokunu can now keep her judgment in her kitchen cabinet, or better still, open her veranda for Afenyo Markin and his group to come and use for sitting. We have Kwame. There are some parliamentary proceedings that the court has no idea about. Daniel says Afenyo Markin has really damaged the NPP. We have here, he should let the court resume parliament for him. I love my speaker. Then we have Robert. Mr. Speaker is very smart. He didn't want to address him as majority leader, as Lily mentioned, so he used leader of government business. And that's what we have to tell you in the little time that we have. My name is Nanama Akwa. Continue to send us your messages on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly Twitter. Lily, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Nana, for those thoughts and comments. Always keep them coming. Let's now head to our election hub. Now, the National Peace Council has confirmed to GHOne News that all political parties have agreed to sign a peace pact to ensure a peaceful electoral process. The meeting, which is expected to take place later today, will require candidates to commit to maintaining peace before, during, and after the polls. Earlier, there was uncertainty regarding the participation of the opposition NDC. The party's chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, had previously indicated that the NDC may not partake in the peace pact. In August, the party outlined 6 conditions for its involvement, including the requirement for the President, the Inspector General of Police, the Chief Justice, the National Security Coordinator, and the Attorney General to also sign the pact. So later this afternoon at 2 p.m., there will be a Peace Council meeting with all parties, including all the various political parties. Earlier, about 3-4 months ago, the NDC had stated that it will not sign the peace pact. Its national chairman, Johnson Esiedun-Kete, has stated that if they are able to fulfill certain 6 conditions, which includes the coming into fruition of the commission report of the Ayawaso West GHOne, then the NDC will go ahead to sign. It also requested that major stakeholders, including the President, the Inspector General of Police, the Attorney General, all sign the peace pact. We're able to speak to a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Foyegbandi, on what is prompting the NDC to this afternoon be part of the meeting and further sign the peace pact. Later we'll bring you that interaction. Meanwhile, the Central Regional Deputy Director of the Electoral Commission, Sadiq Wahida, has warned polling agents against unprofessionalism, particularly drunkenness, at polling centers during elections. Speaking exclusively to EIB Network Central Regional Correspondent Yao Bojan, the EC Director recounted scuffles at polling centers that occurred in previous exercises due to intoxication, a phenomenon he stated will not be tolerated on December 7. He advised party leadership to present competent voting agents that will be efficient towards a peaceful election.
If you are coming to a polling station as an agent, I advise that alcohol will not be a good start for you, because coming to deal with an agent is a serious business. And so don't go and drink and get drunk and then you come and be sleeping at the polling station. When results are counted and declared, you will go and tell a different story. The only advice I will give to the political parties is to look for agents who are knowledgeable in the whole electoral process. People who can differentiate between figures, so that whatever is done there will be done transparently and nobody comes complaining tomorrow. And so they should take time and train their agents so that when they are coming, they know what they are coming there to do. But the agents are supposed to assist the election officials so that together they work hand in hand and then declare their results at the polling stations.
Meanwhile, at a peaceful campaign workshop held in the Cape Coast North constituency of the Central Region, Alhaji Usman Kwesi Abake, the Central Regional Peace Council executive, has urged political parties and stakeholders to ensure peaceful elections. Highlighting the constituency's status as an electoral hotspot, he stressed the Peace Council's commitment to promoting calm before, during and after the polls.
But I believe that as we move on, our attitude will change, our behavior will change, our conduct will change, so that people outside Cape Coast will now see Cape Coast North as a peaceful constituency. Elections is about credibility, it's about transparency, but we cannot achieve this 100%. We are not perfect enough to achieve this 100%. But we should strive to ensure that we have peace, we have integrity, and then transparency. So my appeal to the parties, my appeal to EC, my appeal to the security, as well as the media, let us, as far as possible, to ensure that this particular election in the Cape Coast North will be free from troubles before, during, and after. So that when we are counting up hotspot constituencies, people will not be part of it. I'm here, I'm a citizen, and it's a worry. We have noticed this since 1996. After every election, trouble should have, it should end, so that people will know that we have learned our lesson.
Now, after publicly declaring their support for the National Democratic Congress, the national chairman of the People's National Convention, Samson Saki Awingobet, has asserted that the party cannot sit in neutrality in the upcoming 2024 elections. He confirmed that their party will throw their weight behind the NDC and its flag bearer, GHOne Dramani Mahama, calling for the rank and file of the PNC across all regions of Ghana to follow suit. With just 9 days to the polls, the alliance comes after the High Court in Accra dismissed the application by the PNC flag bearer Bernard Mona, challenging the disqualification from contesting in the 2024 polls.
They have made it clearly that the PNC presidential candidate will file for our presidential candidate in the 2024 election, and we were disqualified somewhere around September. We went to the High Court and we lost our case. We proceeded to the Supreme Court for review of the case, and we lost it as well. 9 days to the general election. The PNC political party is a democratic party. We cannot sit down and to be neutral or pretend to say that all is well for Ghana, and or to say that PNC, because we do not have our president candidate was disqualified, we will not participate in the general election. No. And so, as a responsible political party, we have held in our party, we have party structure. The second highest decision-making body is the National Executive Committee meeting, which was last week Wednesday. Our functional executive committee met and invited the next to discuss what is the position of the party. And today, after deliberations, the party have thrown its weight behind the National Democratic Congress Party and their presidential candidate, former President His Excellency GHOne Dramani Mahama, for the 2024 general election. So far, the 2024 general election is concerned. And so today, collectively, overwhelmingly, majority, the PNC has declared our support for the presidential candidate. We also appeal to the rank and file of our party that the declaration is for the presidential candidate, but we also file parliamentary candidates numbering about 25, 26 or so. We declare that wherever the PNC parliamentary candidates are, all PNC members are interested to vote, come 7 December for our parliamentary candidate, and vote for presidential candidate for us to the NDC presidential candidate, Excellency for President GHOne Dramani Mahama.
That's it for the Election Hub. Welcome back from that break. This is still Newsroom here on GHOne TV. I am Lily Mohammed. Now, Amnesty International has urged participants of protests to not resist arrest, but rather remain calm in order not to escalate violent situations. Speaking on GH Today earlier, the country director of Amnesty International, Genevieve Partington, emphasized that individuals should refrain from making any statements until they have access to legal counsel.
As for you shouldn't resist arrest. Once they take you, you just remain calm. But once you get to the police station or whatever it is, do not issue a statement until you have legal counsel. So you should request for legal counsel when you get to the police station or on the way there. Do not, it's when you're arrested, they read your rights, that kind of thing. So just ensure that you don't say anything that will implicate you. So it's to remain calm, quiet, do not engage, and just wait for legal counsel.
Let's now head to the business world. Center for Energy Policy, ASEP, is urging government and private sector to develop innovative local financing solutions to address climate change and vulnerability issues. ASEP emphasizes that reliance on donor partners hinders effective action against this menace, which threatens the environment and human life.
The recent 2024 United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, aimed to meet the demands of the Sustainable Development Goal 13 and the 2030 Agenda. Climate change devastation such as severe flooding, unbearable heat and cold, and drought have irreversible impact on food security and more. ASEP is pushing for local financial commitment to drive appropriate actions.
I think it's a major problem, where policies are designed and not much engagement actually go into it, or consultation of body of evidence. So that's what we're trying to do this. So we have a lot of research evidence that can come out of this. Those could inform policy, could inform government direction going forward. It's bizarre to see policies generated that do not go through some rigor or certification by academics who have been working around these subjects.
ASEP also advocates for creating economic opportunities to facilitate private sector participation through carbon trading.
When you go to various climate-related events, one of the things we talk about is the desire for multilateral organizations to provide us with funds to support our climate action. But there are other key innovative climate finance techniques that we are missing, especially regarding how we can integrate private capital into the climate solutions. It's about developing these solutions.
The conference themed Building a Sustainable and Equitable Future, Green Solutions for Climate Resilience in Ghana brought together academia, CSOs, researchers, and others to influence policy directions through tailored solutions.
Now here's a plus for local industries as Delta Paper Mill Limited, producers of Flora tissues, has launched the Flora Kids baby diapers. The state-of-the-art factory is designed to produce high-quality diapers alongside certain new standards in hygiene and comfort.
Crafted with soft, breathable materials and advanced technology, the Flora Kids baby diapers promises to protect delicate baby skin while providing all-day dryness for toddlers. Speaking during the launch, the executive director for Delta Paper Mill highlighted the company's commitment to innovation and customer satisfaction.
We mentioned two key goals for Flora Kids baby diapers. The first one was the quality, the second one was the innovation. As of the quality, as I mentioned earlier, we source our raw material from the best suppliers in the world with the finest, the highest quality of raw material in the world to make sure that every single diaper that comes out from Flora Kids factory matches and reach our expectations in terms of quality that we want to give to our kids. Secondly, innovations. We have many innovations. I've mentioned the artificial intelligence software that scans every single diaper coming out of the machine to make sure that it is 100% compliant with the level of quality and safety that we expect. And always we keep in mind that we don't want to do anything if it is not affordable for the families. And if you go to the market and you check the prices, you find out that Flora stands in general among the prices of the products available in the market, and even on the lower side of the prices. We try to be as competitive as possible.
Marketing director of the company, Barbara Inkum, also highlighted how the new diapers reflect the company's commitment to family well-being.
We know the kids love us because they use Flora tissues most, the pocket one, the DH. And so we thought of them. What else can we do for these children so that they'll continue to be comfortable and live a hygienic life? So we decided to come to them with diapers. And when we go on the tour, you will see that the diapers we are going to give to our children, because of our children.
Guests, including health workers from various hospitals, were treated to an exclusive tour of the factory to observe its cutting-edge production processes. The facility boasts advanced machinery and stringent quality control measures, ensuring the diapers meet both local and international standards. Some of the health workers expressed their satisfaction.
It looks quite different from any other, and then I could see it is more quality than the others on the market, yes. So when I go to work, I will recommend it to people so that they purchase it.
We are grateful for bringing this here. It is made in Ghana, so we have to accept it as a made in Ghana product. And we are going to preach it for Flora. See you, Flora.
As Delta Paper Mill continues to innovate and expand its offerings, the launch of their rash-free diapers marks a significant step toward customer satisfaction. Flora Kids baby diapers will be officially launched into the market in December 2024.
That's it for the business brief. Up next is the sports news. Nana Ama Ajiman joins me with the latest sports update. I don't know why the Nanamas decide to disrupt my days every day on the show. But Nana, what's up in sports this afternoon?
Hi Lily, in sports this afternoon, the GFA Girls for Goals Initiative, a transformative program designed to promote gender equality through sports, has officially been launched in the Volta region at the Keta Business School. The event brought together hundreds of students, community leaders, and key stakeholders, marking a significant milestone in advancing empowerment for young girls through football.
The launch was a blend of cultural celebration and sporting excellence, featuring the traditional bobobo dance and a thrilling mixed gender football match that showcased the talent of both boys and girls. This symbolic match sets the tone for the initiative's mission to narrow the gender gap in sports by encouraging boys and girls to play side by side, a first for Ghana. The Girls for Goals program is a 9-month initiative funded by the Ghana Football Association, FIFA, La Guild and GIZ. It is focused on fostering gender equality through football-based leadership programs. By engaging both boys and girls in mixed football and leadership training, the program seeks to break down societal barriers, stereotypes, and inspire a cultural shift in communities within selected districts of the Volta region. Amabrobe Williams, the Deputy General Secretary of the GFA, highlighted the program's groundbreaking nature.
The Girls for Goals project. This 9-month journey empowers young women and men, not just women, through sport, any kind of sport, not just football, promoting gender equality and community development. What's unique about this program is the establishment of mixed football.
The students also shared their excitement.
For
to share that the dream GH for Ghana, and our school we like playing ball as well. So we use this program in this country like and our school like girls. Most of us we don't know how to play ball. So if this program is in class, we can try us.
On international front, Liverpool maintained their flawless Champions League winning record with a fully deserved 2-0 victory over Spanish giant Real Madrid in a thrilling encounter at the Anfield. The rest had failed to beat the holders in 8 previous meetings in the tournament, including 2 Champions League finals or in the past. But this time around, Arne Slot's side dominated Carlo Ancelotti's side, who have now lost 3 of their 5 games. Real Madrid will now have to fight for a playoff place in the tournament's new format. An elated Liverpool boss Arne Slot heaped praise on his last on the post-match conference.
I liked a lot everything. I think we controlled the first half with creating a few chances, but I also thought we were still a bit sloppy, so we lost the ball in a very easy situation, or we forced it a bit too much. And I said, try to be even more patient. Let the gaps open up instead of forcing them. And yeah, then it helps if the first 7 minutes after half time, I think we had total dominance. They even didn't came across our halfway line. Yeah, if you then score a goal like this, then we were flying. If you want to put it like this.
That is all for sports here on Newsroom. I am Nana Ama Ajamat. Back to you, Lily.
Thank you very much, Nana Ama, for that sports update. We are back with the next segment after this break.
This year, I want
Welcome back from that break. This is still Newsroom here on GHOne TV. Let's now head to the entertainment zone. And entertainment this afternoon, popular Ghanaian musician Grace Ashi has condemned the Ghana Football Association for what she terms unappreciativeness in her efforts to promote the Black Stars. According to her, after years of churning our songs to promote the Black Stars, all her efforts have gone wasted.
If I just sit here this morning to tell you from GHOne, Black Star for Mama Shio, I was doing all these things by myself, and definitely I'll be tired. You know, maybe they don't even need my service.
That's how you feel?
Yeah. If you need somebody's service, Oberman support. Now I hear. Anything that we do here is intentional.
Absolutely.
People normally come out to say that who told you that? It's intentional. GFA can never tell me that they don't know I was composing for Black Stars, because on 3-4 occasions I went to Nyantechi. You understand? I've been to ministries, and it's like anything that you go there to discuss with them, at the end of the day you not even receive any response from them. I don't know why they were not appreciating, so I have stopped.
And so that is it for the bulletin. My name is Lily Mohammed. For more news updates, kindly log on to starfm.com.gh. Have a good afternoon.